Hello, everyone. Freedom Tour 2023, episode 32. Here we are. What a wonderful weekend of streaming. Thank you all. Had a great time. By the way, any of you who are tier members of the channel that are above the first two kind of thank you and icon, who actually get in-game help from me, please contact me directly on Discord. You can get to my Discord channel and then just send me a DM. There is, if you link your Discord to your YouTube channel, or sorry, to your YouTube account, then it can actually validate and you get your own little area on Discord for members opportunity. Just make sure you connect with me. I want to try to get as many of those through this coming weekend during the lives. And if you just can't make a weekend, you and I can work out a time that works best for both of us, and we can do a one-on-one on Discord together. With that said, hey, look at me. We're rank 1. We're in gold 1. I actually managed to stay in gold 1 for the end of this. I think this is a good... I think this is a perfect setup for me. And we'll talk a lot about what happened on the weekend. For those of you who didn't catch the live streams or haven't watched the live streams, because sometimes I get it. It's like 2-3 hours. You don't necessarily want to watch it. A whole bunch happened for this account. But also, a whole bunch happened. It was radio silence. Forever. And then suddenly, oh, by the way, also somehow, not intending to, made it to bronze 2. I'll take it. Bronze 2, baby. Nothing but upward and onward. Oh, that actually does remind me. I do need to get some energy because we need energy. Oh, I did. I got an hour and 39. I got to wait for energy. I kind of want to take the ancient shard, but I won't because I need energy. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we got a whole bunch, including that video sneak peek. We got so much to talk about. I don't even know if we'll get to... I don't play the music because I have some stuff I want to share. Of course, I didn't set up the... capture first because that would make way too much sense. And why would I do that? I do want to talk about 2 videos that magically made it to the Raid Shadow Legend world. The first one is the sneak peek, and the second one is the exclusive, seemingly quarterly Ash Cirilla meeting. And obviously they pick Ash because A, he's well spoken, he's well liked by community as well as devs. He's a kind of a good bridge for both of us. He speaks his mind, so they don't always want him to be the forefront of the fun things, it seems. But definitely for this sort of thing, he's also got 180,000 subscribers, so it's a great way to reach the most people in the community. And I gotta say, I'm cautiously optimistic about what I heard. Though, am I optimistic enough to regale my spending days, jump back on the main? We'll talk about that after. But I got a lot to go with. Hey, look at that. We came in 4th in the champion chase group. Let's just tidy this up. We did open up some shards, and I got to tell you, there's first of all, my girlfriend won. She won. If there was a winner, it's not the person who comes in the global leaderboard. It's the person who just crushes the greatest percentage of their shards to attain needed pieces of the puzzle. And that, my friends, was Amanda. My fiance opened her shards and she crushed everything. She got I think she got 5, she got 4, felt like she got 10 legendaries on 131 ancient shards. She got some key epics, but more importantly, Candrafon. And that's not even the first build, because she also pulled Theodore. She pulled Narma, and I wasn't paying attention. I thought she had one AoE, one single target. She's only all single target, so Narma's probably going to go into the cellar for a very, very long time. But definitely Theodore and Candrafon alone. We did start it off with our second Pixneel, which was a little bit of a pain in the butt. And there was I can't even remember the 4th one, which was amazing as well. Astralon. So, yeah, when you're a basically low-spend account, you're very low volume. She just kind of plays as she's watching me, those sort of things. She isn't hard pushing this. And she's got some good champions. We've worked out some champions, but to get Theodore, Astralon, and Candrafon in a pull on 131 shards, and also the Dupe Pixniel, which it does fill up her Guardian Ring, plus a lot of Guardian Ring fill-ups that we actually had to rejig her account, her Clan Boss team, just because it was broken. And then we actually got good events. She was winning last night. Don't know if she won today for her champion chase, which is nice because it's going to get her the extra legendary book. It's going to get her the extra gear. Very nice. Great overall day for her. And I'll talk about my winnings in that, my earnings in that, and my pain as well. We got a little bit of pain. It's not all fun and games here. But I will tell you, off cam, I absolutely doubled down. I went ham. We went gangbusters. So we'll talk about that. But first, most importantly, I want to talk about a couple of videos. I think we have to talk about a couple videos. Now I'll make sure these are here. This is going to be a blind react. I have not actually looked at this video. This is what's new in Raid. They did announce some stuff coming. I haven't seen it. So why don't we do this first? It's not very long. It's about 5 minutes. So let's just do a little reaction to this. Then we'll talk about Ash's video. I'm not going to play Ash's video. I'm just going to go, he's beautiful. He's got it in chapters. So we'll just talk about the chapters and what my thoughts are on each of them. I want to rewatch it. And maybe if I rewatch it, I'll do a full reaction video on the channel. But because of our daily grind that we normally do on this, I don't know if that, do I also do that? We'll see. Anyway, let's play it.
So we're getting into the spirit of this most frightful of seasons with a sneak peek at some of the awesome things coming to Raid in Update 7.60.
Have you noticed that they don't run that developer speed anymore, that 3x that caused all that controversy? Everything's in 1x now. That just makes me laugh.
We're keeping it low-key for this one, with some new clan features, much requested quality of life changes, and a collection of truly terrifying champions. Sound good? Then let's do it. First is
okay, those champions look pretty hype.
A feature that clans will love. Clan insignias. Yes, you can now design your own custom in-game insignia and fly your clan's colors wherever you go. While the clan leader ultimately decides on an insignia's final design, everyone in the clan can play around with the insignia creator, so they can craft their own masterpiece to present to their glorious liege. We won't show you everything in this sneak peek, but just know that you get to choose your insignia's shape, pattern, colors, and up to 6 symbols that you can move and rotate however you'd like. Combining all these elements will allow anyone to create a unique insignia and make their clan instantly recognizable. As for where you'll see these resplendent emblems, they'll be displayed next to your name on various tournament leaderboards, in the Doom Tower rankings, in the arena, and in the Hydra Clash tab. Just take a look at some of the awesome insignias we've managed to come up with. Pretty cool. We can't wait to see what you expert artists can do with these tools. But that's not all for clans in this update. Not only can you create a shiny new coat of arms, but you can show off your clan's might via these shiny new stars shown above your insignia. Introducing Clan Leagues. It's a simple enough concept.
Okay. Absolutely didn't need it. Absolutely no one asked for it. But I like it, so why not?
Perform well in CVC tournaments and Hydra clashes, and you'll earn your clan points that will see you progress through the league and, in turn, unlock clan stars that'll be displayed above your clan insignia. In the future, these points can also be earned in clan PvP events, which I know you're all eagerly awaiting. All clans begin starless, but as you progress through each clan league, you'll earn up to 5 stars. Once you've earned 5 stars in Bronze League, you progress to Silver. Earn 5 Silver stars, and you rank up to Gold. Once this update...
Okay, let's take a look at what this is all about. No, you don't want to win a CVC tournament. Okay. Oh, let's try to. There. Win a CVC tournament. Win a CVC tournament with the last clan reward milestone reach. I mean, we can do both of those. Win a CVC tournament with 3 versus rewards. I have no idea what that is. That must be their new clan thing. Win a CVC with 4 versus rewards. Oh, with the 3. Those are tough to do. Those are tough to do. That means to wipe out. That's just more more spend. That's just more money. Don't care. Care less. Couldn't care less. Win 2 C2 CVC tournaments in a row. They're all CVC, but down here it says finish top 3, finish top 3, finish top 3 in Clash. Do we get to see those? In Clash points. And the Hydra Clash. Finish top 3, finish top 3, finish. Okay.
Stargazing.
Sure. I don't. Not gonna lie to you. I like the insignia better because this is just more to do with things that are just spending a ton of money and wasting a ton of time.
Magnificent. Those are the clan features coming up in Update 7.60. Now it's time for those all-important quality of life improvements. To start, the Events tab is getting quite the rework to include more info on various in-game activities. It will show all relevant activities you can do in Raid, either ongoing or those that will start in the near future, provide more information in general, and look much better than it did before. Actually, we do have more good news for clans.
I actually like that. Really like that.
All clan quests that required you to complete certain objectives in various dungeons will now include the hard mode stages of those dungeons come the release of 7.60. Finally, we're updating the Tavern UI with a new button that'll allow you to disable the warning pop-up when you try to sacrifice a champion required.
This should have been done when they mentioned it, when they first added it, and we complained, and then they said, oh, we'll fix that 2 years ago.
For a fusion. The game will remember this setting for specific champions. So if you've disabled it once for someone like War Maiden, you won't be bothered the next time you try to sacrifice her. That's
okay. I understand why they're doing it per champion, and I like that. You don't want just an on-off because obviously new fusions come out, and then you don't want those ones to automatically be ignored. Or if you're still say you're working on rosin already, but you've already done the Broadmaw. Those sort of things. I like this. This is a very big. It's a small piece, but it's a very good update.
It's the main course done, and so it's time for dessert. Our champion showcase.
Can we talk about the fact that that's only 3 basically benign quality of life improvements? Like them, but with the amount of silence that's gone on, with the nothingness. Now I know from Cirilla's video with Ash. There's a reason for the silence, seemingly, but I do think that this is that's a little bit of a this whole thing is a little bit of a letdown. To give us insignias that we didn't care about, to give us a ranking system that just further gives the haves versus have-nots from a CVC. Now I know they're going to add other stuff to it, but again, they like putting the carriage before the horse. They're bringing in this whole clan thing. When we don't have more clan stuff to do, and Cirilla's video sneak peek spot, there's going to be a new clan versus clan thing. It's not going to be a CVC. It's literally going to be some kind of war, some kind of live war. So I don't know what that looks like. Calibria, there was tower defense versus offense type of things where I was actually battling the enemy, and the enemy was actually battling my team. So I hope it's something like that, rather than just who can mash the button the most.
As mentioned early, we're wasting no time in throwing ourselves into...
This is where they win. This is where, Raid messes up time and time again, but I still play their game because when I allow the noise out of the head, love it, and my God.
Spooky season, and we hope you'll be joining us when our many Halloween events go live. We're going for a haunted carnival vibe this year, and 2 of our new champions capture it well. Kaja the Rye and Timit the Fool know a thing about trick-or-treating, and are certainly eager to revel in the Halloween spirit. Just watch out for the bloodstains they'll leave behind. But the Halloween fun does not end there. Lady Mikage and Night Queen Crixia may not be creepy clowns, but no one would dare accuse them of not being scary.
They're both thingies. They're both mythical.
Not all the champions coming in this update are dressed up for Halloween, but they deserve the limelight nonetheless. You can see some of them on screen right now. And
I assume that there's those 4 plus these. There's going to be some kind of fusion where they are the fuse.
So we draw this spooky sneak.
Because the one we got now is what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. So end of October, maybe.
Peek to a close.
Final week of October.
We hope you liked what you have seen so far, and look forward to...
All right, so that was a nothing burger. I mean, it's, hey, anything's good. The quality of life changes are nice. It wasn't enough. The champions look amazing. Of course they do. Probably doesn't matter because how hard are they going to be to get? But yeah, I mean, the champions are always neat. We've gone past, we're about 500 champions past the point where we're like, there's too many champions. Now we're like, just pour it on, keep going. Now, this does continue to water down a pool, depending on how good the kits actually are. But as far as the actual look of them, yeah, they nail it every time. I think there's very few that they've released since the beginning of the game that look crappy. And even the ones in the beginning of the game that really could use a refresh on their art, they're fine. They're absolutely fine. So, and heaven forbid they should do that, because that wouldn't gain them any money. That would just actually make the game look better. So heaven forbid. Yeah, but it's a baby release. It's boo. Okay, now I want to talk about Ash. Ash and Cirilla had a video. Now I'm not going to jump in. I'm just kind of going to give you my first impression. I want you guys to watch this video. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you haven't had a chance. But it goes through a lot of stuff, and nicely enough. So this first one here is Primal Shards and Mythical Champions. They talk about that. They talk about the brouhaha that happened, and that Cirilla basically reiterates that's already kind of been put out there that, hey, look, we reduced the price, but there's going to potentially be more. This is the one area that I think Ash could have pushed harder. Maybe that's why they asked Ash to do this, not me. Well, that, and he's got 180,000 of you beautiful bastards. And I have 10,000. That might be not even close. So that might be why. But also because I think he has a fair balance of not going where we're not going to get answers. The big thing is hey, there's going to be new mythical champs. They aren't going to boost them. But once there's enough in the game that they feel they can, they are absolutely considering doing some kind of event for that. But what I heard was some kind of event for that means not for Primal, including them as a 2x, but just in general. Honestly, as much as I think it's kind of silly that they have a 2x event that those aren't included in, I understand why. If there's only 5 champions, for you and me, the boost would be great, right? We have 30 of those shards. We have a 1% chance to get it. Maybe we save up to 50 of them. We have a hope and a prayer to get one with the boosted chances. The 0.5 just seems like it's just not going to happen. It's going to be like once an account lifetime you might get that kind of luck. So the problem is they have to consider whales who will spend 500 of these shards to get all 5 right away, and then what point would the shards be? I wanted him to say, back to what I was going to say, I wanted him to really hit hard on, and you can see here, it's a significant amount of time. There's like over 5 minutes they talk about it. There's new ones being added. There's one that has to be reworked because it's not working as intended. But overall, the reality is we're not going to see any particular changes in the process. There is other things that they're going to look at, like more ways to get both the shards and those. I remember the what do they even call them? Fragments? I don't know, whatever they called the things to make shards. I still think, and this is again getting back of veered off twice. I really wish Ash would have hit hard and going, look, when you look at the actual dynamics and your own words, the actual dynamics is these are 2x ancients with a 0.5% at a primal. That's a very small window. And you even say you treat them like void shards. Well, void shards come out to between $2 and $3.50 a pack, depending on your pack. These are $5. And I will tell you right now, and I really wish that Ash would have echoed this for the community, and he really kind of didn't. If I had a choice, if they were going to say, I'm going to give you 100 of whatever shard you want, I would pick Void every time. Even over Sacred, because 100 Sacreds would give me 20 Legendaries. But 19 of Legendaries I'd probably already have. And yeah, it'd be nice to empower some, but the reality is, the Void Shards, if I was allowed to pick one champion, that I just get a free champion, it would be a void every time. I wouldn't even know which void to pick. Do I pick Siphi? Do I pick Taurus, Marichka? Do I pick Georgia? There's a ton of opportunity there. I wouldn't mention a mythical champion wouldn't exit these lips. At the end of the day, void shards are still more important for the account. In spite of the coolness of mythical champions, the void champions are still stronger in the game. Every meta, every time, void champions are the strongest of the meta. Give me a neck crit, right? So to put these shards as double the value of void shards when they're not. Anyway, I kind of wish he would have pushed that a little bit further. He didn't. Is what it is. The Corpulent cadaver nerf, that's pretty simple. Look, here's the deal. If any of you possibly think that this isn't what should happen, you're selfish. That's okay to be selfish sometimes, but the reality is Corpulent cadaver, from the second we showcased it, when I say we, I don't mean me, obviously I mean Victor and others, we all knew it was going to be nerfed. My fear is that they were going to nerf Yumiko, which is probably what they should have done. We haven't seen it, but it sounds like it's a Corpulent cadaver nerf. And they did kind of say that people won't let if you have one, you'll hate it, and if you don't, I have the team. I don't hate it. The reality is, my hope is that if I have that team, I can still get a couple $100 million. The reality is, it's probably not. It's probably going to cap his damage growth is probably going to be capped, which means anyone who uses Corpulent cadaver in Clan Boss or Orc Hydra is probably SOL. Though I still, because the reality, what makes him work is that you can actually one-shot heads. And that's what's not going to happen in the future, I'm pretty sure. And it had to happen. It's unfortunate in many ways because it made it so easy to do. But the reality is, hey, again, whatever you think you can do, or myself, I can do with Corpulent cadaver, the whales can do that times 10. So getting rid of it probably levels the playing field a little bit more. It does go, hey, do you have a Krizia or do you not have a Krizia? Back to a void champion again, which would be my pick. I wouldn't even pick Taurus. I would pick a Krizia if I got one free champion. Not a mythical champion, by the way. Anyway, so that's fine. The next one on permanent mythical fusion. There's going to be a mythical fusion. It's probably going to be, she says it's going to be difficult to attain. Sounds like that means legendary champions are going to be used to fuse a mythical. As long as those are, and they're probably going to be new. This is the thing I'll tell you right now. You're not going to fuse legendaries that you already have. We're not going to be like, oh, I have a dupe of this. Yay, I just automatically get a mythical. It's going to be that everyone has to go forward with it so that they can make money off of it, right? So it's going to be all new champions, I'm sure, that you have to attain. They're probably not going to be attainable through farming. It's going to be, you're going to have to go through, though they said there's a new content. We'll get to that in a second. Maybe those champions will come from that content and then you can fuse. But I suspect when it's not going to be easy, what it means is it's going to be expensive, or it's just going to take a lot of time for you to, if it's Rosh card, hey, you got to get a second Rosh card. But it's going to be a new champion. So it's the fucking clown with the thingy, the court jester. Maybe it'll be him. There's a huge new update. I shouldn't just. So mythical fusion. I like that it's permanent. It's probably going to be very, very, very difficult to attain. It's probably going to be, it's probably just going to anger you when you see it. Don't let it. It's just going to be one of those things that if you do it, you do it. You don't. There's no mythical champion yet that's so good that it matters. There's still 25 void champions and probably 20 legendary champions that I'd pick over any of the mythicals. But it'd be nice to have. A huge new update. So there's going to be a piece of content in the game that is bigger than Doom Tower. So it's going to be another kind of challenge event. Think Faction Wars, think Doom Tower. Very specifically, they said there's going to be a mythical champion attached to it. So think when you could get Drexthar from Arena, when you could get Medusa from what's her? I don't even remember her name. From Hydra. That's going to be one of those type of things where completionists will get, or Lydia from from Faction Wars. I don't know what this new content is. I can't possibly fathom what they're going to do, but I'll tell you, it's going to be fight a bunch of enemies and then fight a bunch of bosses and then do that a bunch of times. But it feels like the end result is going to be a new champion. So I don't think it's going to be a spiral. Like, I don't think it's going to be another tower. It's going to be something more like checkbox, like the Faction Wars, where when you've 3-starred everything in that new content, when you finish that new content, then you get a mythical champion. It'll be difficult. It'll probably require blessings. It'll probably require multiple empowered champions. So, but hopefully it'll be at a point where, hey, if you're studious and if you're patient, even a free-to-play player, that's all my goal is. If you're a free-to-play player, you're going to be able to do it, right? So then they talked about why rares and primal shards. There's going to be, because they want you to spend more money. I glossed over that. I probably need to watch it some more. We still didn't get anything on what that update is. We're getting 200 new spaces. I think 200 is not enough. I understand why, because the GUI is very clunky right now, and it's a bit of a resource hog. And it is, hey, I get it. I've done, they never envisioned this. Well, every time that you open up the champion screen, it has to load certain information for each and every champion. And when you add 200 champions to that, that means it has to load more information on up to 200 more champions. And that's where the problem stems from. That said, they have to do it. They add new champions. Eventually, they're going to have to, if you want a copy of every champion in the game, they just need more storage to be able to do that. They're probably going to make us pay, which is, so that's going to be also for artifacts and accessories. I do like that, though. Honestly, accessories, I don't think I need more room. I don't think anyone does, but definitely artifacts. Accessories, if you need more room, you need to sell more accessories. You're holding on to too many. No one's making champions so quickly that they need that. You should be holding the best 2 pieces of every type at most, right? So if you're end game, you have 2 legendary 6-star with triple roll potential, or have triple rolled in every sort of scenario. So crit damage, HP, neck, defense, neck, maybe a couple attack just in case, but mostly you wouldn't have that. You know what I mean? But definitely getting to 200. I wish it was 500 more and 0 in accessories, but it is what it is. Polymorph, they're considering a change to make it only happen one per instance. So if I debuff the entire team, it's either a hit or miss on polymorph, rather than each and every debuff is a separate instance of happening. Fine. I think that's a little bit too much. It'll make polymorph useless, I think, but or less useful. But we'll see. Champion rebalancing, they talked about. I honestly glossed over this because what are they going to say, right? They should be doing 8 a month, 4 a month, but they're not. They're going to get back to it, maybe. There's a lot of kind of about it. I think epic rare empowerment, they said no. I agree. They don't want to do it because they don't feel epics are special enough. I would really like to see epics empowered for those, because honestly, from my perspective, what I'd really like to see, the epic empowerment, for example, he's got Magnar on the screen and Stagnite and Farrakin. Those are better than many, many legendaries. So if my choices are to 4-star a legendary that's not as good as Stagnite or Magnar, or 4-star Magnar, I'd like the opportunity to do that. But they're not going to. So, and probably because they're worried about a balancing or you not spending enough money. They talked about Clan Wars, which is a new feature. They didn't give much into it other than it's going to be a clan, kind of a, not live, but a clan. It's not Clan A. See how much money Clan A can spend versus Clan B, or how much resources can spend. It's going to be direct battle clan versus clan. So that's good. Then more quality of life. Again, I didn't watch a whole lot of this because to me, there's about 100 quality of life things. And they've talked about some of them, but honestly, there needs to be a whole lot more. So that was that. Go watch that. Like I said, there'll be a link in the description down below. Here, let's give them a thumbs up. Overall, I didn't think it was the worst. I thought it was one of the better of these interviews. There's only so much they're going to say. Ash really tried to hold her to the fire, I think, on most cases, just to know and discuss. So, sorry, I need to answer that. Oh, my fiance sent me a holy. I'm not going to tell you what. Yeah, she loves me, and I am a lucky man for it. I feel better every day knowing that that is the case, and that is the honest truth. Okay, what do we got here? Like, this isn't even all. I haven't even scratched the surface. I haven't even talked about my account. We got this out of nowhere crystal thingy. The crystal offers are still the offers. Don't spend. But I gotta tell you, like the summoning pool, this is probably the best summoning pool I've ever seen. Now, it's still 12% chance for legendary, but look at the there's not a bad legendary there. Those are all S tier legendaries. Not going to take it back. Nishak, bombs. If you do a bomb team, he is so cool. Now let's make a caveat here. I'm going to say something, and I don't know if I think Hellcath was too. They are all former fusions. Was Hellcath a fusion? I feel like he was. These are all former fusions. So, as you can see, Fusion Summon Pool event. I didn't think he was, but okay, yeah. No, obviously he was. So, Nishak, we have Mighty Uko, great champion. Hey, I got 2. I would +1 in a heartbeat. Brogni, I got a +1. I'd plus the crap out of him. And probably build 2. I had built 2 for a little while, didn't use it, but definitely not a bad champion to ever have. Rotos is just the most versatile single target nuker in the game. He's just strong in so many ways, and he can counter so many things. And if you only have one, that's the one to have, I think, is of a single target nukers. Gnut is one of my favorite champions right now. That he just makes everything so much nicer, so much easier. It's beautiful. Hellcath, the things that he opens up. I actually don't use my Hellcath. I have 2 of them. I might go down to 1 if I ever play my main account again. I might actually just +1 them if I haven't already. But I will say, like, man, this guy in Live Arena was good. In 3v3, he's good. In Clan Boss, he's good. Like, he's just such a god tier champion. Also, don't like him. I actually am going to make a video on him. Probably not next, but probably the one after. Not very strong, but I will tell you, Mordecai, amazing champion, especially progression. Norogu is very amazing. Don't have the flat build guy. Could use him. Flaja is got some opportunities there. I can't remember her name. What's her name? The elf girl. Can you see my? Yeah, you can. Pretty good. She's good anyway. She's decent. Maruko is a little bit underwhelming. I think that's Tomo. Is that Tomo? Underwhelming. So the epics, okay, you can't see the bottom tier epics. There's Pestilus, there's Burgoth, who I'm not actually a fan of most of these epics. There's a couple good epics in there, but just for the sheer sake of the 6 former fusions, those are all amazing. So I don't know, this just happened. We'll see if you can get a one-shot chance, 12% chance. Please don't buy anything unless you want to, and then go ahead and buy stuff. I could care less. Couldn't care less. You can do what you want. Do what you want. Leave me out of it. I don't even. Where did I get this thing? I earned this somewhere. Oh, I earned this from a challenge, I think. All right. What else do we got to talk about? We're 34 minutes, and I haven't even talked about my account. This is gonna be a long video, and I'm not sorry. We got the sneak peek we looked at. We got the interview. We got the Fusion Summon Pool event that just happened. Oh, we got as always, we got a 10x that was actually announced. Like, they're actually talking about stuff. They announced a raid digest with the clan versus clan improvements to make the matchmaking will change. Blah blah. There's a Fusion Summon Pool event. Blah blah. There's we watched it, bigger than Doom Tower. That's what she said. The new content will be bigger than Doom Tower. Maybe they just went taller. Maybe it's actually taller than the tower. I'll have 130 floors. Nailed it. and then the preview, and then welcome to there's the highlights for the 7.6. I don't want to even look at it because it really was just kind of the quality of life improvements. I don't know. I don't want to rehash. Content creator notification. The embargo will be it's already down for several hours. Because, of course, why would we have an embargo that allows North American content creators to have any sort of scoop? Let's just do it all for the Brits. I'm looking at you, Hell Hades. They just love you more than me, and I'm a little bit jealous. Spilled coffee all over myself. Par for the course. Okay. Tuesday, October 10th, there's a 10x event to summon Valkyrie from Ancient Primal and Sacred Shards. She's good. Why not? And then Wednesday, October 11th, 10x event for Sulfurion from Void Shards. If that's what they're trying to do to get us to pull shards during CVC, boo. Not very strong. But we do have some visuals. So, but they're talking again. That's the big news, is they're actually not radio silent. Other things we got to talk about. The fact that that they removed the copy strike from Mac Chan in exchange for him pulling the video, which is what they should have just done in the first place. Why didn't you just, like, I saw a lot of not legal advice. That was awful. He's not going to win this thing because they own the right. And so many people said, no, he's got fair use. He doesn't. Now, he could fight it in court and maybe a judge, maybe, but no judge has ever wanted to create precedent. Even in cases where people have won, like H3H3, the judge has said they're not creating precedent just in this particular case. And remember, transformative was the likeness of a person was argued to be copy protected versus not. In the case of H3H3, they were reacting to an idiot who makes videos, and they were reacting to his video. And that was but in the case of still image, like me showing this background is enough, even if I just use a splash screen that's owned by Raid. But I do think that they were assholes. Like, copyright law doesn't change how poorly they handled it and how embarrassingly they handled it. And a lot of people are like, oh, they shouldn't make you take da-da-da, but they can. And so they reached out and said, look, just take it down and we'll remove the strike. And he said, okay, and they did, and he did, and all is well. He still doesn't think that was the right way to handle it, and he's right. Mac Chan is 100% right in everything he says. Watch the video, because he's 100% right. They shouldn't have done it. They should have come to him. It was a piss poor way to handle it. He doesn't understand why he did it. Those are all accurate statements. The fact that they can technically, legally do so doesn't change how crappy it was for them to do it. Also, keep in mind that this is a legal team, which is different than their development team, which is different than their concept team, which is different than their front-facing team. So, it's not the mod's fault that legal is brash. I guess the best way to put that. I just thought I'd mention that. Okay. Woo! I think that's all the news I've got. Do you want to play some Raid now? You know what? I did play a lot over. I do have some energy left over. I did my quest last night because I wanted to get energy so that I could farm War Maiden. And I'm now up to 3,000 energy. 12.4 Brutal, which I am told has some kind of hard coding error that allows it to be a slightly enhanced chance to get War Maiden. But not for me. Not for me. Still haven't gotten War Maiden. However, we got to talk about the champions I got for my 2X Ancients and the additional things we got. So, the 2X Ancients, Miscreated Monster, Kyoku. I threw some of them in here. I did pull up, what's her name? I got Fenchi, I got Zargala, I got Armina, I got Gerhard, and I got Masamoto. That's what I pulled. Pretty good haul. Not as good as my girlfriend's, my fiance's, but pretty good haul. But then I pulled a Sacred Shard, YOLO'd a Sacred Shard off. Oh no, I YOLO'd the Sacred Shard and I got Kyoku. We didn't get Kyoku from my Ancients. My Ancients are still at 0, pity increasing. I got Kyoku off of a single Sacred Shard. Then I pulled another Sacred Shard because I wanted to get the next tier. I was close enough to the next tier. I pulled Mordecai. Now, for reference, Mordecai, who I wanted. Mordecai was the champion I was calling for at the beginning because he's an instant spider regardless of affinity because he places HP burn, and once you get him booked, it's at 100%. This is absolutely my number one pick for epics that I wanted, and I got him after the fact, and it's even bigger because I got Miscreated Monster. And the reality is Miscreated Monster enables Mordecai to work up to level 25 once you have the gear for it. So absolutely, I just have my Spider 25. It'll take time to get the gear to progress them, but I have my Spider 25 team, which is phenomenal, which is amazing. And I'm gonna bring we're gonna take Miscreated Monster to 6-star after probably Kyoku. We're gonna go Kyoku. We're gonna go Miscreated Monster. We don't really need Mordecai to 6-star. We just need him to be survivable enough. Whereas Miscreated Monster, the bigger that shield is, the better it is for Mordecai. So that's why we want to focus on him. Kyoku, we're gonna throw in our clan boss, obviously. Also, just general progression. Anytime we're having problems, she's just gonna make my life a lot easier. Really happy about this. She's gonna get books over him because her books are more impactful. His books are just damage and cooldown, which is nice. I see, of course, I actually, this is the only one that I would say I would really like to have happen. This stuff here, the cooldown, who cares? This stuff here, the cooldown, who cares? Now, when I get into Hydra, I'm going to want this. But for now, using him as a nuker in Arena, not too worried about it. So big hits there. But I also pulled last night YOLO to Sacred Shard. And then I got another Sacred Shard. I'm getting really good on pulling Sacred Shards from the challenge stuff. I got Venomage. And Venomage was someone that everyone else is like, oh, Venomage would work well. Because I did pull a Frozen Banshee. I put her in here. Because I don't even know what to do now. So I got Frozen Banshee, and I'm like, yes, Frozen Banshee is going to replace Kale the second I can focus on it. Because F Kale, that's why. So, that sounds good. However, now we got Veno. And so Veno brings a decreased defense, decreased attack, does some decent damage, reduces incoming damage on her passive, and puts poisons up. You combine that with Kyoku's damage mitigation, and she's got a weaken and a possibility of a decreased attack or an HP burn if the decreased attack is up, which unfortunately means I think Coffin Smasher is dead on arrival because I can get out of Veno and Kyoku more than I can get out of Coffin Smasher. And normally I would say, but who cares? The reality is that's a lot of books. That's a lot of rare books when I have, I have 2 rare champions here I want to get done too. That's a lot of rare books that we're going to wait a long time for. In the case of Veno, really, I'm going Mordecai, then Veno for books now. So I think that's going to be the order. Obviously, eventually, we're going to want books in Miscreated Monster, but I don't really need the books right away. This cooldown makes a big deal. But to get to 20, and I know this because I've done this exact comp before on a previous free-to-play, I can get Miscreated Monster and Mordecai on a free-to-play account to kill Spider 20, which is the important, right? If I can go beyond that, whatever, but the important one is 20. I can do that without him having any books because I've done it before. So that's kind of where I'm going. And I'm okay with it. So, and we already have a couple pieces to get. So that's what we're going on. But Veno has stepped in. Coffin Smasher is out. So let's take a look at what my final team's going to be in the clan boss. Oh, we can get our clan boss Brutal chest. We'll keep that little bitty. Well, it's got defense. I'll keep that. Some potions, not crazy, but so our final, our latest future clan boss team, which was right here. We're now you're coming out, and I think he might even come out for now. Because do we need decreased defense? The turn meter boost would be good, but if we're gonna put Veno in, I feel like this is where this is a bit tricky. I think we keep him in for now because we have 2 poisoners. We have the poison sensitivity. We've got poison, so we're going to fill that bar up pretty strongly. We've got the cleanse, we've got damage mitigation, and we have turn meter manipulation. I think I have the possibility of moving him out and maybe keeping Kale in. We can test both versions. But either way, Deacon is still going to be available in case I ever get an unkillable team that I need that turn meter boost. So we still need him regardless. Though it's weird how Deacon was going to be like the highlight of this account early, and he's been moved out because of my Stagnite, and now he might potentially be moved out just because we have everything we need in this. But definitely this is the future team as it stands now. I could pull new shards, and that could change again. But for now, you are looking at my clan boss team here. Let me even just call it CB1. Safe. Also, don't keep in mind that maybe on Magic Affinity we can move Deacon out and move in Kale, and then move back to something else depending on the affinity, because I still don't have any Force Affinity champions, but we don't want to hit too many weak, and that would be, we've got 2 and 2, so we can kind of play around with what makes more sense for that moment. Maybe having 2 teams isn't too bad. But again, because he's Magic Affinity as well, so he doesn't even fit in the affinity, I think Coffin Smasher's out. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Coffin Smasher out. So that's where we're going. That's the direction we're going. I'm still looking at her. Ayla, is that her name? I kind of want to use her instead of Reliquary Tender Summer, but Reliquary adds the heals, which makes it hard because she's gonna okay, so she heals all allies versus a continuous heal on a 4-turn cooldown with a 2-turn block debuff buff. She might actually be, because she can increase attack accuracy too. Maybe what we need to do is instead we can make Reliquary Tender. But the cleanse versus the block, we can put her in a 4/3 eventually, kind of like you do with I don't remember her name right now. I'm too tired still. I haven't had enough coffee. But this might be, I might want to use her. A 4-turn cooldown with some heals. Oh, she might replace Reliquary Tender. I want to do that because I want a reason to use her. Now, it's going to be hard for Books, maybe. Books might be, and Reliquary Tender, either way, is still going to be, she's still boss because she's got to revive. So she's still really important for dungeons. But I feel like I want to try this out. I feel like this might be fun. And if we do eventually take out Deacon, we can use the increased accuracy here. But with her increased accuracy, we can get away with some pretty low accuracy numbers, potentially. Yeah, I think, okay, so that's, I think, is our eventual team right there. That gives me a chance to use a couple champions I've never used in Clan Boss. 3 to be exact, because I've dabbled with Venno on the main, but I never had to use her. So, yeah, let's do this. And Deacon, like a typical pastor, has a bunch of women in his team, which is strange because he's a man of the cloth. Anyway, so that's what I got for you. We're still, what am I going to do today? I have to get some, I don't know how I'm going to get green potions and still try to get War Maiden. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to do our best. So there's your updated on everything raid, on a free-to-play one where I didn't do a single thing in the fight. I didn't do a single. Here, I'll run Demon Lord that way. That way, at least I did something for you. There we go. See, we played. It's all good. All right, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you. A whole lot of stuff going on. I probably even missed stuff that's going on. But we'll see you again tomorrow. It was a lot of fun going through finally some noise. Oh, I did want to give my final thought. Look, new content in Raid sounds great. Opportunity to get Mythical Champions sounds amazing. Quality of life improvements, absolutely. I have hope for Raid, turning a dark corner into something a little bit more playable, a little bit more fun. Is this something that will entice me to spend money in the game again? Probably not. Will it entice me to play my main again? Probably. And so we'll see what that happens. This will still be the daily, but maybe I'll jump on the main a little bit more. Maybe we'll do some more evening video content other than just the I Built Them series, depending on what this new content looks like. Could be fun. We'll see. Maybe we'll switch in and out between the Freedom Tour on the free-to-play account and the no longer spending account. There's a lot of things we could do. So I look forward to what that content brings, and whether or not, and hopefully that content brings something that will be fun for all of us to play and enjoy Raid instead of crapping on Raid. So anyway, that's all I have. 50 minutes, longest video I've done of the series. Probably you've tuned out anyway, but if you haven't, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be safe, be kind. We'll see you in the next video.